You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we have chronicled this ever since Tom Brady surprisingly decided to just call it quits. We have been tracking the relationship between Tampa Bay Bucs former head coach now, Bruce Arians, and of course Tom Brady. A lot of things have come out. Word has it, look, from many sources now, have pretty much confirmed that Tom Brady was trying to get out of Tampa and go to Miami. We thought he would go to the Niners. We were wrong. But we were pretty much right. He was never going to stay retired. He was never going to be retired. Well, now we're finding out that as part of this Bruce Arians saga, and look, a lot of people think there was a feud between Brady and Bruce Arians, some over Bruce Arians' work ethic. I mean, Bruce Arians is kind of known around the NFL to be more of a 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. kind of coach, okay? Whereas a Belichick, is a 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. kind of coach. Either way, they've both found success, although you got to wonder, without Tom Brady, would Bruce Arians have ever won a Super Bowl? Now Bruce Arians is retired. Tom Brady's back with the Bucs. Man, that's a coincidence, isn't it? Well, let's get to this because it seems that Bruce Arians had lost some influence around the building last year. Bruce Arians, this is Outkick, reportedly lost influence over the Bucs in his final year as head coach. We kind of heard something along these lines. Tom Brady was pissed because Tom Brady would show up on Tuesday mornings with his game plan ready for the following Sunday's NFL game, and Bruce Arians wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. He didn't have his shit together, and after being with Bill Belichick, that angered Brady a lot. Bruce Arians can't shake the speculation surrounding his abrupt decision to step down as head coach of the Bucs. Among those storylines is reported beef between Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady. While NFL insider Ian Rappaport argued on the Rich Eisen show that Arians and Brady shared a strong bond, he added an interesting tidbit hinting that Arians' influence on the team had reduced well before his announcement. Quote, with all due respect to Bruce Arians, who I really, really like, I'm not so sure how much he did last year. Wow, now we got that work ethic thing. Rappaport said, he was the guy. He made all the decisions in the end, but Brady did the offense with Byron Leftwich. We heard that from Rich Ornberger about 2 months ago now. He added, quote, that's from several people who were there even before any of the stories came out. There would be no reason for Brady to want Bruce Arians out because he wasn't that involved. Okay, I'm going to call bullshit right there. Because as the head coach, Brady expects Bruce Arians to be involved, to be engaged in the way that a Bill Belichick, who he played for 20 years, would be engaged. I'm sorry, but there's no reason for Brady to want Bruce Arians out because he wasn't that involved. The fact that he wasn't that involved with somebody like Tom Brady's work ethic probably crawled all over Tom Brady and hatched eggs. That in itself had to piss Brady off. Fans were also stunned that defensive coordinator Todd Bowles received the promotion over Leftwich, a name frequently lauded for the Bucs' success on offense. But no matter the coach or coordinator, most of the credit for the Bucs' recent triumphs go to Tom Brady. Brady won the Lombardi in his first season with the Bucs and led an improved regular season campaign his second year. He threw 5,316 yards, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. A divide between the two had been noted along Arians' retired timeline, with the media questioning if the former head coach stepped away as a reaction to Brady's unretiring in early March. The two continue to swat those reports, share their professional bond, as Arians remains on track as a senior football consultant for Tampa Bay. Well, look, they had to get him out of there, okay? I mean, point of fact, they tried to do it in such a way where they could hook Todd Bowles up. Bruce Arians kind of gets to save face and kind of look like a hero because he's like, oh, I'm on my way out. Todd Bowles is being handed a very, very good team instead of a team that's lacking a quarterback, which if Tom Brady wasn't there, you know, they're looking at Blaine Gabbert or Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield or somebody like that, right? Just not Tom Brady. You get the point. And then Todd Bowles doesn't succeed. Look, coincidence, Tom Brady comes back, Bruce Arians leaves. I mean, why in the world, if you're Bruce Arians, why would you not want to stay and really cement your legacy, get a second Super Bowl possibly? And then look, if you're a head coach and you got 2 Super Bowl wins, people start talking Hall of Fame kind of things with head coaches that have 2 rings. Now, probably not. Okay, so there was sort of a legacy issue involved here with Bruce Arians as well. You know, Bruce Arians had a lot of success as a head coach. But, I mean, you had a clear shot here at a second ring, and you walked away, and I can't help but think, with all the reports out there, that Brady was like, look, this guy doesn't have the work ethic. He's not prepared, and I don't like that. I'm sorry. Why would he want him out because he wasn't that involved? Tom Brady is all about work ethic. You think that doesn't piss him off? I mean, really? Just the head coach itself, especially after Belichick? My God. I think what Brady was looking for when he left New England was to get away from that sort of militant kind of regime. Then he gets Bruce Arians, and he's like, oh, at first, this is great. But then after a while, he realizes some of that structure that he had in New England, he was starting to miss in Tampa Bay. And probably in all honesty, he wants something in the middle between New England and between Bruce Arians, right? Belichick, Arians. Something in the middle, something not so damn crazy like Belichick. I'm a huge Bill Belichick fan, by the way. But you get my point. Oh, this is crazy. I think things are going to continue to come out involving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. It's just all going to continue. I still contend that Tom Brady was pissed that Bruce Arians released Antonio Brown. Because if you're Tom Brady, you go into that game against the Rams, you needed a guy exactly like Antonio Brown on the field in that game, and I contend that the Bucs would have beaten the Rams with Antonio Brown. I do believe that. I think Antonio Brown would have played. He'd have played through his injury. I'm not an Antonio Brown fan, but I think he would have played in that game. I'm just saying. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.